Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Can I go far away? My mom is moving to Austria. I need you to back. Okay, I need you to back. He's just gotten arrested.
Especially my oldest son is quite traumatized. Even to this day, when we want to go shopping, he'll rather stay home.
Yeah.
Like anything in the public, he's afraid. So it'll take some time to get him to be confident again.
And here is how I was introduced to the boys. He comes and he says, you know their favorite game is? I said, no, I do not know. Well, one will hide and another will say, get out, Nazis! Imagine the next generation learning the proper warning.
And I mean, huge thanks to your boss, Ezra. If you all can help us with that, that would be wonderful. I know the fines are not very high, but the fact that they harassed my family and put them through trauma, like I said in the post, my family is still recovering from the trauma of my arrest, and to put them through that, there's no reason.
Hey guys, you might have seen my last report on Artur Pawlowski. I interviewed him just hours before his arrest at the Church of Adullam, and I mentioned how Pastor Tobias Tissen was in attendance. Both pastors have been targeted by the state for their peaceful non-compliance in regards to public health measures. And though they've already been arrested, spent time behind bars, and issued conditions for release, intimidation from the state remains. As Tobias recently mentioned on social media, now local authorities have taken to targeting his family. This intimidation from the state is a common theme for those who show reluctance in regards to abiding by so-called public health orders. But we've been helping Tobias with these tickets, and if you want to donate to his legal defense, go to fightthefines.com. And in today's report, we're going to see both Artur and Tobias at the church to find out exactly what happened with regards to Tobias's family and their confrontation with authorities. And remember, just hours after this took place, Artur and his brother were arrested.
There's a word that I think all of us have gotten new meaning in our lives, in our hearts when we think about, and that word is freedom. I used to, before all this happened, freedom didn't mean so much to me. I think most of us could relate to that. I mean, not everybody. Some, I should say my generation. All right, let's play safe here. My generation can say that freedom didn't mean a whole lot to us before some of our freedom started to disappear.
Pastor Tobias was arrested some time ago. When I was traveling around the States, I was referring to him as the first pastor in the history of our beloved Canada in hiding. Because that's exactly what was happening. He wanted the Nazis, the Gestapo, to come and arrest him properly.
They'll have to learn. If you want to get a pastor, you have to get him at church.
In the church, from the pulpit. If you wanna be the villain, if you wanna be the Nazi of today, well, do it the Nazi style. Come to the pulpit, arrest me, drag me out of the church. But you see, the Nazis are cowards. They're cowards, and they didn't want to do it. So instead, they arrested him in the middle of the night.
Hey, so he's arrestable.
All right, so Tobias, can you step out of the car? You're under arrest. You have an outstanding warrant for your arrest.
Just let her give me a hug. She's going to Austria in the morning. She's moving to Austria.
Please. At least. It's okay, Silas. It's okay.
I know when I reached my limits, God came down into that cell. They can bind us up. They can handcuff us, Pastor Mark. They can throw us into their cars and they can haul us away. But they cannot bind up our spirit. December 24th, we were going to have this wonderful caroling event at church. I had to go earlier for a practice. I was singing along. And went earlier, and all of a sudden when it gets closer to the event to start, I'm like, where's my family? And then I checked my phone and my wife sent me messages that she was pulled over by police.
Driver license registration?
Yes.
Okay. Is Tobias with you?
No, he's not.
Okay. You're getting a ticket for fail to notify registrar of change of address for vehicle registration within 15 days. The options are pay the fine in person, online, or by mail. Second option is admit the offense and seek reduction. Third option is dispute the charge and request hearing. So all that could be done at the Stenback Court office.
Just didn't really make sense if you didn't know it, but I'll take it.
Yeah, it's part of driving. It's
Okay.
part of knowing the
Driver's manual.
driver
Okay,
manual.
I understand. Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Is Tobias in here? That was their first question. So she said no. And then they asked, okay, can we have your driver's and registration? Stayed in their car for a long time, I think just to intimidate, to make her nervous. There was no reason for it. And they came back with 2 fines because since we moved, we had forgotten to change our address on her license and registration. She wasn't even aware of it. I don't know that I was fully aware of it, but apparently you have 15 days to change your address, and we had a crazy year last year with everything that happened, so we didn't get around to it.
Well, considering the opening question that you allude to, where's Tobias, it seems like they pulled your family members over with the intent on going after you, and then they came up with whatever they could find after the fact to compensate for them
Exactly.
trying to pull you over.
Exactly.
We refer to him as a badger because badger may be small or smaller. But do you know that the bears are afraid of the badgers? That's how strong and powerful they are. And you're also a lion. So you got a mixture of a lion and a badger. And that makes you extremely dangerous to the kingdom of the enemy. Because you see, they're bullies. They're like bears. They show up and they want to take everything. They think that everything is theirs. Until a badger shows up. And it says, well, who do you think you are, you uncircumcised bear? And you should defy the armies of the living God? Who do you think you are, Mr. Grizzly? Kenny? We will eat you for breakfast. And what I know about lions and badgers, they never bow before the hyenas. And here is a man with his entire family, entire church, the Church of God, that said, not an inch, nothing. We shall not give the devil anything.
What all I've been through, an arrest, multiple fines, all that has made us stronger. I think I read a statement yesterday that says life is not always easy. When you climb the mountains, your legs get stronger.
My boss, Ezra Levant, has generously offered to fight these fines for you. What do you have to say to that? Is that something you would like to do? As you know, with Fight the Fines, we've helped thousands across the country. Would you like to get that help as well?
You know, first off, I was so honored. I just put it on Twitter, and next time I checked into it, I realized Ezra Levant had retweeted it with a really nice message towards these bullies. And I mean, huge thanks to your boss, Ezra, for doing that. I was really honored to him sharing my tweet. And if you all can help us with that, that would be wonderful. I know the fines are not very high, but the fact that they harassed my family and put them through trauma, like I said in the post, my family is still recovering from the trauma of my arrest, and to put them through that, there's no reason.
Yeah, watching that video where you were being arrested and your children were there, that was rather emotional.
Where we go now? The Lord will take care of Papa. It's okay, Silas.
How are they doing now, and how do they feel about the whole situation?
So, especially my oldest son is quite traumatized. Even to this day, when we want to go shopping, he'll rather stay home.
Yeah.
Like anything in the public, he's afraid. So it'll take some time to get him to be confident again.
And here is how I was introduced to the boys. He comes and he says, you know their favorite game is? I said, no, I do not know. Well, one will hide and another will say, get out, Nazis! Can you imagine the next generation learning the proper warning? It comes to the bullies. Get out, Nazis! You know, awesome. You're my heroes. Like, you're awesome. They were coming to my house, as you know. They were sending detectives, bylaws, female police officers, male, pure intimidation, giving stupid tickets for nothing, like I receive right now, tickets for parking. Yeah. We are unloading food, saving lives on the streets of Calgary. And instead of receiving thank you, we receive tickets. That's just their way of forwarding the wickedness.
People are starting to wake up more and more and see what is happening. Even those that have complied for a long time, even some of those are waking up. People that would have stamped us off as crazy, they're starting to realize there's something behind this. They have restricted the non-vaccinated so far to where I think right now they can only have 25 people at gatherings, or 5. I can't keep up. Yeah. They're changing so often. But the last restrictions were for vaccinated to have 50% capacity. So people that wanted to be at games or whatever events, concerts, different things, that got the shot just to go there, now all of a sudden they're going to have to fight over who's going to be the 50%. And their vaccine is of no use. Yeah. Also, the testing, they've recently changed the way how they presented the testing. Before it was so and so many vaccinated COVID cases, so and so many partially vaccinated COVID cases, so and so many non-vaccinated COVID cases. Well, that started to look really bad on them.
Yeah, everybody was vaccinated. Yeah. That was going to the hospital, right? Yeah.
So 90% of COVID cases were fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
So now they were like, well, that looks really bad on us, so we're just going to ditch that whole thing and just say COVID cases because it wasn't fitting their narrative anymore.
Thanks for watching to the end, guys. And a quick reminder, we're connecting Tobias with the Democracy Fund and will provide a legal update in days ahead. And to support others who have been issued these bureaucratic fines, go to fightthefines.com. And remember, your donations would qualify you for a charitable tax receipt. Thanks, guys, for watching. For Rebel News, I'm Sidney Fizzard.
In the end here, I just want to thank everybody who's following my story and was praying and supporting Rebel on my behalf and the JCCF. Thank you all so much for having my back and for being with me in this fight. Appreciate you all.